Mm-mm-mm. Hey, love bugs, it's Roslynn back at you one more again. I hope everybody is doing blessed. I'm doing blessed and highly favored, and definitely hope the same for you. And if this is your first time stopping at my channel, much love to you and welcome into my returning subs, my growing extended family. Thank you so much for the love and support. You know, y'all been steady sending people my way, sharing my videos, and there's so many people subscribing. So I thank you for the support as always. Once again. And so if you have been watching my videos for a while and have not already, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell if you know. So you know when I'm about to upload my next video. And if you're comfortable enough, drop me a line or two. I would love a chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me, even if it's about the positive feedback to the content of my video, or you're just up telling me about your empathic gift, how it impacts your life and head you towards a positive direction. And if you feel like videos are informative to you, give you good vibes, good inspiration that you would love to share with your loved one, family, or friend, or even a fellow empath that are going through trying times right now, may need spiritual guidance or, um, you know, confirmation or validation towards life path or even soul purposes, please go ahead and share. And while you're at it, give your girl a thumbs up, like, and also share on your social media favorites wherever you see fit. And thank you once again for the love and support. It's greatly appreciated, and I hope you're able to resonate with the content of my video. And sorry y'all, I'm just up here eating almonds. The YouTube channel I'm using today is Jason Stevenson. I love his meditation music. It's 528 hertz, release inner conflict and struggle, anti-anxiety cleanse, and release worry and anxiety. And I will post his link in the description box below. And the video I'm doing today is Twin Flame 101 Heyokas. When our day of our lives starts falling completely apart is the day when the truth of everything will come be coming together. It is so true. A lot of times it may feel like our lives are falling apart, especially when we went through that spiritual awakening. Like, you probably, if I look back at my life, I went through a few spiritual awakenings, that I didn't even realize what it was. It just felt like I was going through dark night of the soul. I was going, losing my mind. There were people just not there for me. People were just not understanding. They weren't computing with what I was putting out. And it's like everything is going through that now. It's like so many people are going through different things that may seem like their life is falling apart. Things are just not coming together where you're wanting to. You may be venturing off to something that's just not working out for you. And it's like, it's not telling you to give up, but it's testing you, sending you towards different waters just to test your waters out for you. If they keep sending you, say that, the universe keeps sending you towards different places and they say, I need you to go this way. But you're assuming just because they have you going that way, it's going to be a definite yes. Everything that you've been hoping for is right behind that door. But they're wanting to know, okay, this is what you wanted. You don't put it out to the universe. This is what you're trying to manifest in your life. They will send you on different avenues just to see, are they going to allow themselves to release everything that's holding them back? Are they going to allow themselves to change the focus and how they get things done? Are they going to allow themselves to believe in themselves about what they're going for? Are they going to allow themselves to, even though it may be tough on what they're doing and they keep falling down, they're not getting the answers they want. They may not even be getting answers at all, but are they going to allow themselves to keep going? And that's what it's doing. It's everything, your whole life is unfolding. It's showing you parts of yourself you didn't know. Because if I look at life the way I'm looking at life now, there's a lot of times things that happen that, there are certain people that could have been around me. And I started noticing different things about people. I had friends where, there was certain people that were around me. I'm like, you got this glow about you. I don't know what it is about you, but there are certain glows around you. It's like I seen different things flying around them and stuff. A few friends would look at me like I'm crazy, but the ones that knew about that knew what I was talking about. Next thing you know, that person passed away. And I didn't know that was when, allowing me to know that, I didn't speak that amongst a lot of people because it's like the people that I know that I told that to, they're no longer here in the living. They knew that I had certain gifts that I wasn't aware of. I couldn't really speak on those things because anytime I thought about it, it took me back to that point where I was told it was a mental illness. I shouldn't be doing things like that because it's like the people that I had to deal with, that took the attention off of them. And that's something that they couldn't understand. They don't believe in ghosts. They don't believe in, the spirit world. They believe that dead is dead and that's it. you know. But there'll be certain things, like if I was to bring something up now, if I talk to those people, I'm like, hey, you remember this? And they know there is no way of me knowing that unless I talk to the person that's already over there. And they told me, if you ever talk to this person again, I want you to remember to tell them that. I said, I'll tell them. I'll remember to tell them that, you know. And there's a lot of things that your life, it may be falling apart. And a lot of times it's falling apart because this is the truth of illusion that they led you to believe, or you thought you were believing. Like I said a couple of days ago, ignorance is bliss. When people don't know what's going on and truly understand, they fine with that. They're okay with that. But with us, we feel and we go through things. We see things on a deeper level that a lot of things can't be, understood, or, completed, competed or computed, whatever you want to call it, towards people that are sleeping. When they're good wearing a mask and stuff like that, they don't like that when you showing your truth, because like I said, they take the shine off of them, and all these different things that's going on in your life. And a lot of times you have to go through that struggle of truth just for you to understand how far it kept you from going, how long. A lot of times, because it was just like when I first started, I used to smoke weed, hellfire weed, to get to my higher self, because I felt, oh, okay, if I'm gonna get to my higher self, I got to get high to get myself, And it was just like I was one with the universe already, but with me going through that, I had to go through that element of smoking weed just to be able to get in touch with that. Now, all I got to do is just allow myself to be open to the universe, and I'll tell them, hey, even though they're doing it, I have to be able to be open with myself, be honest with myself. What are you doing? Okay, you're opening yourself to receive the information that you need to place upon yourself, mind, body, soul, spirit, aura, to be able to project and reflect towards others to do the same. And that's where I get my stuff from. Because a lot of time people are like, Roslynn, once again, these videos on point. Once again, this is something I'm going through, because there's something that somebody may be going through and they trying to understand. Universe, I'm really trying to understand what am I doing wrong, or what am I not seeing enough of? Because the signs is right there, but like I said in my last video, it just depends on where your vibes are at. If your vibes are all over the place because you're stressed out at that time, your mind is not clear to receive the answers that you need to receive at that time. A lot of times you have to allow yourself to be like, okay, let me center myself. Let me meditate. Let me put myself in nature for a minute so I can clear my mind, so I can receive the signs that I need to receive, so I can understand where they need me to go, where they lead my path to. Because a lot of times they put you in solitude. They push everybody away from you, and you're like, why is everybody leaving? I used to be like that. I always used to tell people I need to be around people because I don't like the thoughts that I have. People are like, you don't like the thoughts you have? Yeah, I don't like the voices I be hearing in my head. And they were looking at me like I'm crazy. But it was actually my gifts were opening up, and I didn't know what that was. And that made me feel like I was crazy. And even when I was talking about it, they were like, Rosalind, we need to go. Are you okay? Like they would pause for a minute. Wait a minute, you said what was wrong with you? And it's like they will make you sound like you're crazy. But if it's just like, there's a lot of things when you start being very open to things and they're looking at you, like sometimes you can freak people out because there's things that you know about that there's no way of you knowing. There's people that I know are close on one-on-one. If I've had a one-on-one on them and I'll talk to them, and it'll be something I'm tuned in. It was just like, I think it was last week. Well, yeah, it was last week or earlier this week, and I did something in my videos. Matter of fact, it was on my last video, and I may have talked to somebody, and then next, one of their dead loved ones come chatting in. I'm like, Lord Jesus, what's going on? I said, because I'm tired, and I'm, I'm trying to give this person this vibe y'all want me to give out. And especially, sometimes even, spirit come in and they're not speaking English to me. And I'm just like, do you know what this means? I don't know if I'm saying it right, but do you know what this means? And they'll know it's like roundabout way about. I was like, Dad, I need to really get, hooked on my Rosetta Stone, because this is not good for me. But it's just like a lot of times, even it was like a sister from another mister, like, Roz, there's sometimes when you drain, that's the best time they can come into you, because it's like everything starts shutting down, and that's when they can. I'm like, that's not it, because I be on fumes. You may give me something like, hey, they need to go ahead and go on this way. And next thing you know, I don't send them the wrong daggone message, and it'd be like, look, they ain't what I told you. I said, well, shoot, you should have waited until I was gassed up before you start doing that, But it's just like when you're allowing yourself to unfold, yes, it can make you feel like you're losing your last mind. But yes, it's allowing you to know, hey, It was like me. Like I said, I was smoking weed and stuff like that. And they knew with everything that I was going through. They knew everything that I was going through. It was that a sober mind couldn't deal with what I was dealing with and still be in that right mind, because what all the things that I was going through, and I'm not saying my situation is far more greater or stressful than any other person, but with everything that I was dealing with, and then the truth came at me the way it came at me with everything else that was going on, I'm just blessed that I'm not in prison doing a bid, a life sentence bid, because everything I had going on, a couple of folks would have lost their lives when I found out what they did. But it was a blessing that they used this situation to unravel what I was about to do, because I did not know where my purpose was leading me to. I was just going a day by day, and it was just a blessing how things was unfolding to me, learning about different things, because it's like when I see where I'm at now, even though I'm still healing, I'm still learning like everybody else. You still learn every day. You learning how to stay focused. You learning how to allow yourself to not absorb what you may be going through and just observe what you are going through. Every day is like a life lesson to you, because everything is unfolding to the truth of you. And before, it'll be just like you mad at the whole world because you've been living a lie this time. And it's not like you doing that on purpose. Sometimes you do it subconsciously and subconsciously. You know what I'm saying? But then when you allow yourself to be who you truly are, you start having these flashbacks of things that's like, it feel like deja vu, like why these certain things feels like you're playing a major part in the world. Basically, it is we're in our own soap opera, as the spiritual being turns or something like that. Young in the I don't know, the inadequate. I don't know. It's like something like that. We got our own like soap opera. And it's just like we're all going through these different things in our lives where, I see a lot of us that we have gone through a lot of things, and how we got addicted to certain things because of the pains that we have endured. And it's allowing you to break free of those things, because a lot of times we bind ourselves, and it's just like, I'm just going by me. You can agree with this. I'm just saying from my opinion, from my perspective, my personal perspective. Dealing with everything I was dealing with, it was a lot to me, because I didn't want to believe the people that I knew was doing those things to me. So I allowed myself to get bounded into, basically torturing myself. I allowed myself to go through a lot of repetitive patterns of pain, it was like going through, it was like I went through a whole, what is the DVD set, box set, my pain, and redid that mess and put it on repeat. And the way I dealt with it is smoking weed, or I went to a point where I was really heavy on antidepressants, antipsychotics, and it wasn't doing nothing. It wasn't helping nothing. It was just coping with that. It was like you constantly giving me a band-aid for this broken leg. It ain't healing nothing. You may be, setting it up a little bit, but shoot, let me go around the corner real quick and it's going to knock it right out the box again. But then it's like when I allowed myself, and I told people, like Roslynn, hey, I'm still, struggling with my substance abuse. And it's like, it's okay. I tell people real quick, I can't judge nobody. I'm not God. I can't, I can't do that. I've had my moments where, I've withdrawn. I've had my moments where it was hard for me to face the truth. So I had to deal with that, with dealing with substance. I didn't know how to deal with what I was dealing with, because I'm just like, wait a minute, because I said, when my dad first passed, he came to me spiritually. He came to me and he was just like, what you're going to find out is, I don't know how you're going to be able to handle this. I don't even know if you're going to be able to handle it. And I'm like, Daddy, I need to know the truth. I know there's a big part of me. I know something. I'm just not, I know there's a big part of my mind. There's a part of me that is like, it's been wiped out, and I need to go back and find that out. And it came back in increments, but they dumped a whole lot of them, whole load of them increments. And I'm like, nah, wait a minute. And the way it came back, it was very painful for me to have to deal with. It was a lot. It was a real lot. And you dealing with that truth, and when you're allowing yourself, even though you may not be at that state where you're happy and bright in that happy bright moment, but then allow yourself to go back in the moments where you see where things were uncovering for you. And it may not been something so pleasant, but you have to appreciate what that situation presented to you, because it gave you a part of yourself that you had to see for the truth within yourself. There's no sugarcoating. It was no, what do they call it, blurred lines. You had to go through that and see it for what it truly is. Not everything is sweet is sugar coated. I had to learn that. Not everything is sweet is sugar coated, but that truth is beautiful in the truth, and it could be a hot mess of a truth, but it's your beauty of the truth because you're allowing yourself to see it through clear vision. And it can be hurtful at times. When I look at certain parts of my life, there are certain things that I still cry about. But then when I allow myself to, when I start seeing it from a different way, because it's like, even when it comes to me and my father's connections, me and my dad's connections, I would look at it and just break down and cry. But then it was like the universe was bringing that back to me, because I was violated in so many different ways. And they wanted me to remember those connections me and my father had. And it was like, it's not because I would see it as a punishment. Like, you're punishing me for this because this is something I never got to cherish. It was always robbed from me. But then it was like the universe was allowing me to say, no, we wanted you to remember the love that was there that they robbed you from, but cherish those parts, even though your life has been altered, for somebody else's comfortability or somebody else's liking or somebody else's torture or pleasure. We want you to remember the love that was always connected there. The love that connection always had, whether it was a dream, whether it was a talk on the phone, even though you didn't know who you were talking to, the laughs, the cries, the jokes, all those different things. They wanted you to cherish that and hold that to your heart. Don't allow yourself to hold on to that pain, but hold on to the love that was there. That's the truth that they wanted you to hold. And it was so hard for me to see that for a good minute, because I'm like, why do y'all keep bringing this up? Or it could be my dad that was bringing that back to me. Or they'll have certain people that knew him, and and they'll connect with me, and they would say something. I would know what that meant, but they wouldn't know what it meant. And that was like his way of bringing people to me to remind me of different. As soon as I said that, the light started changing, so I know he's here. So it's like all those different things that are taking place that I can truly feel like I'm blessed for, because there's a lot of times it took me to not say, it's not fair that my dad got taken away from me. It's not fair that, I never had a chance to rekindle with him in that physical way, or I would get jealous when people would come back and tell me and rub it in my face about the things they experienced with my father, just to hurt me. But it was just like, you got a part of him that nobody else ain't touched. So that's the part that you can be blessed about. And they see that. That's the reason why they do that to you. There's a part of you that, that's a part of him that's very vulnerable. A lot of times people get a different shade of all different people they come into contact with. But when it comes to that twin flame, when it comes to that ultimate love, there's vulnerability there. It's truth there. It is like you can be weak in front of that person, and you don't have to worry about that being a punishment to you. And you have to cherish that. So anytime, as soon as I said that, must be that's a good one. When you're dealing with different things like that, you're uncovering the truth of you. It may be painful, but they want you to be able to view those certain situations in a different way, so it can allow you to heal, so it'll allow you to be able to go on without any regret, any resentment, because it's like I say, there's people that'll leave me, comments here and just sit up here and say, Roslynn, I resent that this happened, or I hate that this happened, or I wish I could have did that. I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't, because you're wounding yourself when you do that, and it's bringing on excess pain that you really don't need. But all these things that we did, it was by experience of learning a value of a life lesson, because there's so many different things in our prior lives that we did that we should have did different. But then in the next life, you mended on those mistakes, but there were certain things you still held on from the last life. And so now everything that's coming on to us, because we this one that's supposed to be cutting them cords, you know what I'm saying? You're dealing with a lot of excess baggage, a lot of excess, wounds that still need healing. So a lot of times we're really hard on ourselves, but you don't understand. You ain't just healing and dealing with the things that's going on in this life, but this is stuff that's going on. That's why you got spiritual reinforcements all over the place. You had family done passed over that's protecting you. You got friends that may have passed and is protecting you. Then you got your guides, you got your ancestors. Then you got all these other ones, our archangels, the angels, the deities, whoever you believe in is all helping you through this. And it may be seeming like there's times when we feel like we're by ourselves, or there's things that we're doing this. And it's like you're not walking alone in this, but these are something that you had to clear. Because a lot of times they'll give you that vibe like, hey, you need to stop doing that. Or, they'll give you that little push when they need you to go ahead and do something, but you're scared. And then there are sometimes they'll be very quiet just to see. Because you'll know, I'm like, hey, do I need to do this? Because there's times it's like before I start doing my videos, I'll just, I'll put my little crystal over it. And I got a whole list of content, books and books that some of them I haven't even did yet, and I don't ran out another book and put in another one, and I can go back now. Since I'm doing podcasts, I can go back and use that for a podcast. But I go and I said, is this the one you want me to do? And I'll wait for all my hairs to raise up. I'm like, oh, okay, this is the one you want me to go off of. And the next, all them vibes will start rushing in, for the video they need me to do. But it's just like when your life is falling apart, it's because it's parts of you that's no longer needed, or parts of you that really wasn't true, or the parts of you that was wounded, but you're strengthening those parts. It's all falling apart. So when you get where you're at, there's no more wounds. It's healed, but there's life lessons. Those wounds turn into a life lessons that you can value. Those what they were this whole time, but you had to go through some life lessons for you to figure out. These weren't, these are things that I had to go through so I can heal in certain aspects of my life that I wasn't able to do before. Or there are certain people you're connecting with, even though y'all are no longer connected with, that person brought you some knowledge that needed to remind you of something that you may not have been aware of, that triggered off something in you that was always there, but they brought that knowledge of you. You may have been asking a question. A lot of times we can tell everybody else about their lives, and when it comes to ourselves, we get like, oh, okay. And then they come here like, Roz, this and this and this and that. And next, I go, it's like I go flatline, and all of a sudden I just start typing and don't even know what I'm typing. Then I look back and I'm like, you know what? Is this what you've been trying to tell me this whole time? You're like, yeah, but we need to bring this person to you for you to get that sign of the answer. So it's like I said, I seen that, so the lights start flashing, and all these different things is going on. Y'all, if my face is looking all distorted, it's because my energy is all crazy. Now, if I get on my phone, I don't know if I said that already, but I'm gonna say it again. There's a lot of times when I get on my phone and try to do my videos, I'm not, video, equipped with the greatest equipment yet. So I got to work with what I got. I know I was watching my other video. If I watch it on my computer, it comes up clear and perfect. But if I cue it off my TV, off of my Google Chrome, it look all distorted, like I see, different faces on my faces. So I'm just letting you know that my energy all crazy right now. But yeah, it's just letting you know. It's like you'll start understanding why a lot of things is taking place in your life. And sometimes I look back at certain things and I get really emotional, not like a bad emotional, but happy and grateful emotional, because a lot of times I'll be just, I'll be in my element and just start saying thank you, because I know a lot of times I feel like the world being hard on me because I dealt with so much. And it's just like, people that's close to me, I always say this is not fair. Why I have to constantly go through this. I'm trying my hardest, with what I have. And it's just like, it just seemed like the world keep crapping on me. And a lot of times it's like, this is not crapping on you, but it's to strengthen you. Is giving you, it's just, for the fact is, a lot of times we feel like we're weak, or we get mad if somebody says we're weak. And a lot of times when they're telling us that, it's because they're weak. It's not because of that. Because it's like when you feel like, a lot of times your heart can get in the way of what you need to do, what's right for you. A lot of times it's like that, because I'm like, damn, I was naive as hell. And it's not like that, because the fact is, there are some people that'll come into your life knowing they don't mean good for you. But you've been there to that point where you've been, broken or whatever, broken away from a lot of things. So you want to be able to lift this person up. And a lot of times we don't know we're lifting up people and we're knocking our own self down when we're doing that. So it's like you have to go through these things. Like, it's like when I've gone through my life lessons, I didn't have a father in my life that showed me what a true man was supposed to be like, you know. And I was like, shoot, if you were in my life, you weren't that true one, you know. So I wouldn't know what a good man was until I had it. But now, with the essence of my biological father, from the things that he's experienced, you know, because he was a ladies' man, you know, all that, but he had to learn the hard way through that, what, you know, what a man's supposed to be like with a woman, you know. And he's helping me heal my own self through that, you know, from those situations that he's been in or he's done to a lot of people, you know. And it's like that was something he had to deal with, and that was the burdens he had to bear, and seeing me deal with it from that end, you know. So he's trying to teach me, you know, and I learned to love myself again. I learned to, you know, higher my standards and not settle just for anything. Now allow somebody to say, you know, little sweet nothings to me and then have me all goo gaga for that, you know. And it's just like, I appreciate all those different things I've gone through. So it's just like, when you've gone through different things, don't down yourself because of, you know, you may have got hurt or you may have got played or you didn't see the signs when they were there. And a lot of times when you don't love yourself enough, you will deal with a lot of things. That's why I was exposed to a lot of different things in my life that wasn't right, or I seen the red flags and allowed myself to accept, settle. I say I don't want to settle for nothing. I don't even. The only thing I'm gonna settle for is settling for not having an upset stomach. That's the only thing I'm settling for. Other than that, I love being by myself. You have to be able to be by yourself. Be your own best friend. Give that love to yourself. So that love that you're giving all to yourself, you will find that same person is loving you just the way you're loving yourself. You can't put your love all in somebody else and you don't give a care about yourself, because they're not gonna care about you either. You know, you can, you know, and I tell people, it's like, Roslynn, I don't love, you know, I hate being by myself. Shoot, I hate being by myself too. I'll be sitting up here acting like my man is my pillow. That's fine. But that's okay. I can respect myself. I ain't got to worry about, oh, Lord, is my business about to be out there? This person gave me something that I ain't going to be able to get rid of. I don't have that in my mind. I'm okay with that. You know, a lot of times you got to be by yourself. You had to be yourself. Be around yourself until you the way you're supposed to be. You know, allow yourself to go through those situations. That's why I tell people, don't be so quick to jump into a relationship just because, if that's the only reason why you're ready to jump into a relationship, because you're tired of being by yourself, that's not a good enough reason, because you're going to get put in a situation that is going, you know, it's going to mess you up more than it's going to help you. Or if, you know, you're ready to see it, you know, you're ready to be with your soulmate because you're just tired of being around people that just don't appreciate you. If you're still holding grudges from the people who don't appreciate you, you're going to go through the same thing again. So all those different things are going on and giving you life lessons of the truth that was, you know, that you see. As soon as I said the lights flashed, as soon as I said that, because a lot of times we live through illusion of what the society wants us to see or what our wounds decide for us to see. You know, a lot of things got to fall apart for it to come together like it's supposed to. So I hope you were able to resonate with the content of this video, y'all. You know, I missed y'all for that. I think it was like a day or two, but I had to, you know, I had to reset, recharge, and, you know, redo myself and, you know, where I need to be. So I would love to give a post notification shout out to Christiane. Much love to you. Good to hear from you. Connie Johnson, Miss Laura Littleton, Dara, Drea W, my bad, Rose Mendoza, and Twan Jr. And much love to you, Sarah Nicole Harms Miller. If you're new to the channel, much love to you. Good to have you. You know, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, drop me a line. I would love to hear from you. You know, tell somebody about the channel. If you need to get in touch with me personally, I got me a new Twitter account, so you can find me on there. I put all my information at the bottom for my Twitter and my IG. You can DM me there or send me a private message on IG. If you have Facebook Messenger, you can find me up under my name and just send me a message there. Whatever we speak on is confidential. You don't have to worry about that going out. It's just a network to be able to give you a deeper understanding about your spiritual purpose, about being a Heyoka if you're still trying to find out about that, and just being able to help you come, a deeper understanding about yourself. Like and subscribe, share, give me a thumbs up. Know that you are loved, you're highly favored. And there's always somebody out there praying for your better days. And I pray that everything you're trying to manifest into your life comes 100 million times more than what you expected, prayed for, or even thought about. And the same when you receive it. And even through social distancing, make sure you give out love, light, positivity, as well as prosperity, words, vibes, frequencies. You never know. All those things can really take somebody a long way. And I will see you on my next video. Even through social distancing. Yeah, I already said that. Have a blessed, safe weekend. Be responsible for everything you do. And I will see you on my next video. Much love to you. Peace. Be well.